Welcome to Parent Shift, episode 10, with your parent shifters, Linda and Ty Hatfield, parenting from the heart. Today, we are going to talk about a concept that will be helpful, very helpful for you with reducing power struggles in your home. And who's not having power struggles in your home right now? So this is super helpful, and Linda's going to start.
So how many of you have either heard the phrase or said the phrase to your children, if I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times? Or even the phrase, how many times do I have to tell you? I know I've heard it many times from my own parents. I'm sure I've said it to our children time after time. And so, many times when we speak like that to our children, they have difficulty following through with their request. And the reason is because we've said it 1,000 times. So they basically become parent deaf. They really leave their bodies and float off somewhere else. And so they then don't really hear what we're saying. They ignore us. And it's just not helpful. So that's a lot of times why we end up having the start of a power struggle right there. So what can we do, Ty, instead of using that phrase with our kids when we want to get some more cooperation and harmony in the home?
Well, we love Chaim Ginott. He was a famous child psychologist, especially in the 60s and 70s. And he's passed away since, but he wrote a book called Between Parent and Child, which is a classic book. And in that book, he talks about really talking less to your children. So he says, as a parent, if you can say it in a paragraph, say it in just a sentence. And if you can say it in a sentence, try to cut it down to just one word. And if you can even do it in one word, use a gesture instead, which would greatly reduce power struggles with your kids. So there was a preschool director that decided to have her instructors or teachers just use gestures in the classroom with the kids whenever acting as much as possible. Because the children already knew the routine, they decided to just do gestures. So everybody became better at using gestures. They clapped their hands to get attention, they nodded, they smiled, they led the children, and it worked very well. They found out that the kids paid a lot more attention during teaching, actual teaching time, or when the teacher would read a book. And that was because they already knew the routine. The teacher didn't have to do all that talking and correcting and things. So that really worked in that classroom or that school. And then we have the concept that he talked about was using one word. And that is a magic thing to do, really, because parents in our class come back after hearing about it, and they say it really works for them, too. It worked for us. So let's say you come home from school, your child leaves their backpack right in the middle of the floor, as they've been doing lately. And instead of saying all the negative things, how many times do I have to tell you to put your backpack away? Why are you always leaving it there? You're a mess. You're unorganized, all those things. Just say, backpack. Linda, backpack. Or the Carrie, sweater. Kristen, shoes. Whatever it is. Just one word. And you don't do it in a forceful, strong way. You just do it in a very matter-of-fact tone. That's all. And it's so much easier and lighter than all that other words and negative actions that we put into that. So give that a try. And also during COVID-19, with all this stress that's going on, you might be tempted to go, bring your mask. How many times do I have to tell you to bring your mask? And you're always forgetting your mask. And just say, Tim, mask. Or let's take it to the other way, the gesture. Hey, everybody, we're leaving. Let's go. Right? So you get the message, right? So try that. It really does work.
So I'm just going to share a couple of stories that are true that happened in our home when I was practicing this concept 20 years ago. I told our kids that I was going to work on speaking in 10 words or less, which many of you know can be quite difficult for me, especially if you've been in our parenting classes. I have a lot to say. So Carrie, our daughter Carrie, really took this to heart. I I was making dinner one night and I was getting ready to put the meal on the table, and I said, Carrie, will you take your homework off the table? And she says to me, Mommy, you said that in only 8 words. And I thought, oh my gosh, I had to count on my fingers, and I was so happy with myself that I said it in less than 10 words. So it's really great to, get your children on board with some of these things that we are sharing. They'll help you do better. So I appreciated that she noticed. Another story I like to share is Kelly was about 6 at the time, and I would ask her in the morning after she would eat her cereal before school, can you put your bowl in the sink? And I fed myself every morning, Kelly, put your bowl in the sink. Kelly, you know to put your bowl in the sink. Kelly, why don't you put your bowl in the sink? So I thought I'd try this idea instead, use one word. So here comes Monday morning, and I say, Kelly, bowl. And she picks up her bowl and she puts it in the sink. Day 1. Day 2, Kelly, bowl. Picks up her bowl, puts it in the sink. Day 3, Kelly, bowl. Picks up the bowl, puts it in the sink. And I'm like, wow, this is really working. Yes, I'm having to do the little reminder, but that's okay. It's better than preaching and all that. Well, the 4th day, I said, Kelly, bowl. And I was turned towards our sink, and there was a window in front of our sink, and I could see her reflection in the window. And I see her get this little smile on her face, like almost a little giggle. And I could tell she thought it was like a little game. So I turned around and I said, Kelly, is your new name Kelly Bowl instead of Kelly Hatfield? That's your new last name, Kelly Bowl? And she goes, yes, Mommy. And I said, you like it when I say Kelly Bowl in the morning, don't you? And she said, yes, Mommy. And we laughed. And after that, I never had to say it again. It was almost like once she knew that I knew it was a little game and what that was all about, it kept it friendly. It kept it fun. It kept it peaceful. It deepened our relationship. It enhanced her self-esteem, because many times when we use how many times do I have to tell you, when we rant and rave and nag, it really damages the relationship, parent-child relationship, and we lower self-esteem. And then we set ourselves up for power struggles. So that's why this is such a great tip and why I love it.
So talk less, use one word or a gesture.
Yes.
And you can get a lot more about parenting in our book, Parentship, 10 Universal Truths That Will Change the Way You Raise Your Kids, available at parentingfromtheheart.com. And also we created an ebook called Quarantine with Kids to help you during this quarantine crisis that seems to never end. So now's the time to get this book. You can download it right on our website at parentingfromtheheart.com. And we are doing a lot of Zoom coaching right now, which is turning out very well and easy to manage. So we can help you that way too. And finally,
we send you off on your parenting journey with love, and we do so from the bottom of our hearts. See you next time. Bye, everybody.